Hello again. This week in our community groups, we're going to be talking about Christ-centered community. We all want community, but what should be unique about Christian community? Now, I've been around college for a long time, and there's a lot of reasons why people come to the University of Wyoming. One might be the outdoors, to go hiking, fishing, camping, skiing, although right now, out my window, it seems like they are on fire. Maybe you came here for a certain major. Some people come just to get to a small town feel, or to be in the middle of nowhere. Or maybe you came for a scholarship, or some people come for a specific sport. But almost everyone I've ever met craves community. They want community really, really badly. We all want friends, right? And we really need good relationships in our lives. Many of you might want friends, but maybe you're too scared to take the risk to go out and meet new people. We're noticing that happening more and more. Maybe you're a little too cool for school to admit that you're lonely and you need friends, but we all want them. And actually, if you're watching this video, you're probably in a community group, so good job. You're taking some risk to meet some new people. Ironically, as a culture, we also value independence. We value people who are independent, and we often hold in high esteem people who are independent. People who say they're self-made, or they're just confident in themselves, or they don't need other people, or they're not influenced by other people. But man, if COVID-19 has taught us anything, it's that we need community. We need people in our lives. I am so tired of virtual life, and I'm sure you are too. We had a mental health crisis in this country before this pandemic, and it's only made it worse. We need community. Now, I'm sure that you probably have friends who are Christians and friends who are not Christians. You can have community with anyone. You can have friends from all over the spectrum of life. But there should be something about Christians together that should be unique. So as you read 1 Corinthians 12 here in a little bit, you're going to see the term the body of Christ. Now, if you grew up in church, that might sound familiar to you. But if you did not grow up in church, here's basically what that means. The body of Christ refers to the church as a whole, or all of the Christians in the world. When Jesus was on earth, he showed God's love to others through his physical body. And now that he's ascended into heaven, we, in the same way, kind of like his body, share God's love to other people. And as you'll read in 1 Corinthians 12, God's Spirit lives in you as an individual. You represent Jesus. By God's grace, he lives in you, and he lives through you. In one sense, your salvation is personal. It's something you decided to do, to follow Jesus yourself. However, you cannot fully represent Jesus by yourself. I'm going to say that again. You cannot fully represent Jesus by yourself. See, God has given gifts to a beautifully diverse group of people here on earth so he can express himself to the world. The more that Christians are together, the more they should represent Jesus. And the more Christians are together, the more they should experience Jesus themselves. I hope you're encouraged by that, but I also hope you're challenged by that. If you're a Christian and you're hanging out with other Christians, do you think people could look at your group of friends and notice something different? If you're not a Christian and you're still trying to figure out your beliefs, are you humble enough to accept God's gift and join his family and his body? Friends are great. They really are. But friends who literally share the same spirit, that's powerful. Enjoy your discussion.